Hello, hello, how are you? This is JilliBling, and I have another project using the stamp set, just a plain simple stamp set, not a bundle, called Field and Bloom. Fields in Bloom. So here it is. So I did one yesterday. I'm looking around to see where I put it, with just yellow flowers. I know I have one right here. Hold on. Look at this one. So this one is a fun fold. What? Isn't that pretty? But this one has just yellow flowers, and I did the yellow flowers because we have poppies in the backyard and they're just beautiful. They're very inspiring. The colors, they start out like a little bit yellow and then they go to more of an orange, but it's like they're so vibrant. So that's where this one came from. So this was yesterday's, and you could see the video, yesterday's video. But then I was thinking that stamp, the one with the flowers, imagine doing that in different colors. So I did one in kind of softer colors, purple, and yes, some of the colors are a little bit vibrant, but because they're so small, I think it makes them a little bit softer. So this is today's project, using Field and Bloom's stamp set. It's a two-step Stampin' stamp set where you stamp, it doesn't matter which one first, and then you do the other one over the top, and they perfectly align and make little stems on all the flowers. And this little hummingbird is, I'm not going to use it today, but I did yesterday. Is that just the cutest, the sweetest? And it has a bouquet in there, right here. And then the clouds. Jude, you wanted to know about the clouds. You said somehow you're fascinated with them, and I agree. They're very interesting, and they're very easy to work with. So I put the clouds on here in Pool Party. So we'll be using Field and Bloom's stamp set. Wanted to say dies for the happy birthday. And you know, when I was placing the words happy birthday on here, I thought, oh, it should be down lower at the bottom so you could see the horizon. But the card became a little bit busy. And when I put it right in the middle, it seemed like that was the answer. I like it like that. And then Spotlight on Nature for the circle. Okay. So I have stuff everywhere. We'll be using Purple Shimmer Gems. Did you notice those on here? And I purposely used different colors. Like this one is maybe a heather. It's a little bit softer, more in the blue tones. This one is maybe more like a shimmery grape. And then this one is closer to a berry color. But I love that there's all these different colors in one pack, but they're all still kind of in the same color family. Speaking of color families, Stampin' Up! Said they're going to come out with a color wheel. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I use the color wheel very often. And I like it because there's like the triadic, the trio of colors that go together. So if you have a paper base of Pretty Peacock, just put these colors together, anything in the little window, it'll look fabulous. Or monochromatic, right here is where you use them and they're all right next to each other on the same color wheel. Complementary, they're opposite. And I think that analogous is very similar to monochromatic, but the range is just a little bit bigger. So one of these, they say, will be coming out absent the in colors. This one we got at a Stampin' Up! Event in March, and it includes the in colors, which is very convenient. But if they took the in colors off of here, it would just go on for until they do a color refresh. But I'm using this all the time. I love using it. If nothing else, just to say, okay, Pretty Peacock Lost Lagoon, rather than pulling out the papers, I grab my little color wheel. And it's like, how close are the colors really? Or Shaded Spruce, like what color, just looking at these, what color should I put with it? It's just nice to have something this size that has all the colors on it. So that's how I came up with all the different purples. And, did I put it on here? Yeah, my little scratch pad. I'm like, okay, these are the colors I want to use, the purples, and what order should they go in? And I tried it based on this Highland Heather, Grape, Blackberry, Berry, Freesia. But in the end, on the stamp, because it's just little sections, it doesn't matter what order you have them in. Then I was thinking maybe a little bit more bluer to the warmer purples, but again, looking at them is like, oh, I don't know. But sometimes it's good just to try, figure things out. Scratch paper. Okay, so we did that. We're going to be using the sheer ribbon, which has a nice little silver band on it. We're doing a little bit of that on the side. So this is kind of a fancy fold. It's like a book fold, and this is where the sheer ribbon is. And it opens like that. Okay, so here's the papers, and as I pull out the papers and start folding them, I'll tell you what sizes they are, and then after I finish this project, I'll put it on my blog, and my blog is JilliBling.com, and I'll have them all typed out, so you don't have to try to figure it out. Okay, so here's the papers. I have my little stamping pad. If you're using a polymer stamp set, it's nice to use the pad. I will need my scorer, and this is the designer paper, the lavender paper. Look how pretty those are. And you know, I was thinking when I pulled out these papers, every time I tried to mix in some of these lovely designs with the purple in it, it just became too busy. So I needed, like the leaves was a little bit of a stretch, but if I put this purple piece of paper over here, it's just too confusing on the eye. So it had to be a little bit more calmer, neutral. And the color wheel would tell me the monochromatic colors. So, but the paper is beautiful. And because of this paper, I think that's why I went with the purple colors. It just seemed natural. But I think you could do any colors with these colors right here. I'm running out of room. I've got 2 projects going. I got 1 project here. I have 1 project there. Actually, and I have another one sprawled out over there. Yeah, to be a stamper is a good thing. Okay, so the base paper is cut to 4 1/4 by 11. Keep these all in order. Okay, so 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. Okay, we're done with this now. It's just going on top of everything. Okay, so when I fold this, you'll go, oh, okay. And then this part here will fold up. Okay. So, I'll decrease those a little bit. Here's a sample. So this is for stamping on, and these pieces, this is inside. Oh, and these 3 are all the same size. 3 white at 4 by 4. So one of them is for inside, one of them is for Stampin' Beautiful Flowers, and one of them is for a layer right under. Look how pretty that is. I mean, you know? Oh my, I have an idea coming up. So I kept on wanting to make the flowers really vibrant. I wonder if there's some way to stamp it on like dark paper. Oh, and maybe emboss them. I might try that. Okay, back to where we were. I think I have an idea. Okay, so I'm going to stick this down. So this white paper is 4 by 4. I'm going to stick it right onto here, right in the middle. The designer paper is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, right there. Okay, and for the little side here, this is 1 inch by 4 inches. And the designer paper is 7/8 of an inch by 3 7/8. Just a little bit smaller. so that card front is close to being done. So these pieces need stamping on them. So let me get out my foam pad. And let's do the stamping. Oh, let me hold this up so you know the paper cut sizes. Ready for a screenshot? There's that, and there we go. Click. Okay. So to do this stamping, because I know it's going to go over the edge, I'm going to put my foam pad underneath my white paper, my scratch paper. Just because if you get ink on here, no problem, just carry on. But then if you put a white piece of paper and there's already ink on here, sometimes it will soil the back and it seeps through the front. So just one little precaution makes all the difference. So what should we start with? Let's start with the leaves, the stems, because I know that's the easiest. So this time I'm going to use Lost Lagoon everywhere. And then as with the yellow project yesterday, I'm going to put a few little bits of Pretty Peacock on, and that just gives the stamp a little bit more depth. And I'm purposely not going to fill in all of them, just some areas, because I want the leaves to be like 2 different tones. That's what Mother Nature does. Okay, so that could go right on here. Okay, I kind of wish I got down lower because this die from Spotlight on Nature, I think it's going to be fine. Because if I did this a little higher, then I would have a white area down at the bottom of my circle. Because this one I didn't do so good. Don't tell anyone, but see right down there? I wish I stamped a little lower. So don't do what I did. Do it good. Okay, so that's done. So do you notice the difference in color? And I know that the leaf stamp is a little bit like fine, so it's hard to see the difference, but I could tell that there's peacock here, here, a little bit down here, and just a few spots. It just adds a little interest, a little more depth. Okay, so now when I do the inside, I have to get it to the bottom. Oh, and you know what, when I did the inside, I purposely did it a little bit lower so you have room to write. So I definitely will be at the bottom when I stamp it on here. So I'll get off some of the ink, go back to Lagoon, Lost Lagoon. Okay, good coverage. Now a hint of Pretty Peacock. There's a there's a hair on there. It's like, how could there be a hair? It's not a dog hair. We don't have a cat. And you know what? I'm not going to stamp it very high. So it's probably going to be just fine, but you know, be thorough. Okay, so areas of Pretty Peacock. And again, it's going to be a little bit low, so I know the bottom of this won't be seen, but that's okay. Okay, so this is for the inside. I'm going to stamp. It's like, well, how much writing do I want to do? Do I want to do my name only? Or do I want to say, happy birthday? Okay. So that's for the inside. Ooh, that one's real pretty. So now for the flowers. The flowers are going to have all kinds of color on them. Oh boy, I'm out of room. Tony was out there pressure washing. And he hasn't done it in 2 years. And it makes such a difference. So I couldn't do anything. So I started a new project. Then he ran out of gas. Anyhow, he's doing good. And thank you all for all of your kind wishes and thoughts. He's doing very good. Okay, so for the flowers, I'm going to use daubers and apply color. And I see some areas that are darker. And this, I think I cleaned it off. Yeah, it's clean. It's just stained now. So the colors I have going, I'll do it on both of these papers, is Grape, Heather, Blackberry Bliss. Can you see all these? Part of them. Fresh Freesia, and Berry Burst. Okay, so I don't remember what order I did them. Well, I know Freesia was last. I think I started with Heather, and Heather was really real soft. Well, it is naturally. It's a subtle. So Heather, I'm doing all over here. It's like you could hardly tell. Oh, so I have a little bit of a funny story about, so after I apply color using my dauber to all these areas, then I'm gonna huff it, which just means taking moisture from your breath. And I should put this one in first position. I'll do grape down here. So we're gonna huff it. So one of the first times I was stamping, okay, maybe it was the second time, I invited my friend, some of you might have already heard this story. I invited my friend, my neighbor, Susanna. I said, come with me. This is so much fun. So she did. And the next day she's like, we need to do some stamping. I said, I think you're right. We need to. So she came over and we were making, I don't even know what we were making. We were having a good time, just pulling out all kinds of stuff. And I looked over and I noticed that every time she would go to stamp something, she would take her stamped image, like I'm going to do here, and go, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And I think it was like 4 or 5 o'clock. She's like, I need to get home and make dinner. She goes, I don't know that I can continue with this hobby because I'm really lightheaded. I started laughing. I'm like, well, why do you have to huff on everything? She goes, well, I thought that's what you did. That's what I was taught. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's right. She was. Anyhow, I told her, you don't have to do that on every, I'm kind of forgetting where I lost track. I had to leave room for Freesia. Anyhow, after she knew she didn't have to huff on anything, she came back and we had years and years of fun. I don't even know if I did over here. I know I didn't do in the middle. I'm probably getting some of the other colors on my dauber, but that's okay. Okay, I'm going to have some multicolored flowers. The thing is trying to repeat it for the inside. Okay, and then to line it up, look at where the crack is, where the valley is. Then look at your little flowers. And they all have a perfect little spot to go into. Okay, are you ready? You know it's going to be awesome. These colors are awesome. When at first looking on here, it's like, that's really bright. But because very little is stamping, it's a little bit softer. Oh, look at that. Okay, I really like that. Okay, so this one is down lower. So here we go again. Let's put some color on. See, I don't have any more stories. I told you them all now. That's it. Okay, so Heather, did the Heather show up? The Heather showed up. I wonder if you wanted to do like a watercolor, if you could spritz this. I kept all the color on it and on the green too, and kind of spritz it and maybe get a watercolor effect. Oh. So this idea that I just came up with as I was showing you the paper was, what if it was stamped on like a dark color? Because you know, like if the sun is setting and the flowers are still open, it's beautiful. Okay, so I have an idea. Kind of a dark color paper. I don't think I want black though. Maybe I have a piece of peacock paper. I think I've used peacock on all of these. And the leaves can once again be in Lagoon, and well, Lagoon wouldn't show up. Okay, and just peacock. And then the flowers in white embossing powder. Then I think you could color over the top with blends. Now that would be, do you know how vibrant those flowers would be? I haven't tried coloring over the top with blends. Well, okay. After we do this one, hang on. It'll be experiment in action. Okay, so this is ready. Hold on, I'm gonna huff on it. I don't know if that really helps. This one is lower. Good, good, good. Right there. Oh, we get to do the clouds next. Jude, the clouds are for you. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna have to clean this like really good if it's gonna go into Versamark. Okay, so we're done with all of this beautifulness. This is gonna go, this is inside clouds. Pool party, clouds. I wish I had a full-size stamp pad. Mine are all being busy. I use pool party a lot. Clouds. Yeah. I should try it like second generation. Be here. Doesn't work. It's kind of not visible. I think it'd be better if I had a full-size pad too. So it has kind of little streaks in it. Okay. Oh, and on the circle paper too. I have to cut the circle. I usually like to have all the cutting done beforehand. Not this time. Right there. Pool party. Okay, so this one is done. It just goes to the inside. Just like that. No more Stampin' required. I was trying to come up with good words, and sometimes it's just nice to write whatever is in your heart. Ooh, haven't stuck that together. I'm thinking about my next experiment. The thing is, I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know. Circle. Try to not have a white strip at the bottom. That's going to be just fine. So the cut edge is right at the edge of the die. Sometimes it's set in just a little. Okay, hold on. There it is. So that just gets put on flat, just because the words are going to be popped up. So these words dies, it's called Wanted to Say, and there's nothing that coordinates with it. It's never been part of a bundle, but it's really nice. My clouds look a little crooked. Well, maybe I could shift it just a little. There, that looks better. The clouds aren't so crooked. Because the flower stems are going this way and that way, I think I could get by with it. Okay, let's do ribbon, ribbon. So we will need, just for a knot, enough to tie a knot, so to right about here. Then I'll trim up the ends. Get that knot in the center. Right there. Okay, the ends. Oh, this one's a little shorter. This one's tidier. It just had a haircut. Okay, and then you could use tear tape or just some real strong adhesive, since I'm on a roll with my liquid glue, and try to get it right to the edge. Then I'll be heavy on the ribbon. A little bit in here. Okay, glue. Okay, so the words, I have them ready to roll. I cut them in Pretty Peacock, just like the sample, and Crumb. And these words, they come with You're Too Kind, and it's like 2 layers. Happy Birthday, we're using now, Celebrate, and Feel Better Soon. I love the font on the Feel Better Soon. That could go good, right? That would really be right in the middle of everything. But they're really nice. I've used them quite a few times. I'm happy they didn't retire. Okay, let's see. How is that sticking? A little bit over here. It's kind of heavy on the glue. I'll wait for the glue to start to dry and it's a little tackier. Then I'll give it a squeeze and really get it to become one good book binding. Okay, so we could glue these together. So whenever I'm gluing something a little bit long that needs to be adjusted, I glue the first half of it. Then after that's kind of dry, I go back and glue the second half. Probably because I don't like to get dirty, and then I have control over it. Could you imagine the whole, like happy, and it's all full of glue? You'd be like, how do I hold on? How do I control this? Okay, so happy. Okay, so this plan, I'm going to give it a try. If it doesn't work out, I'll be real embarrassed, but you know, stampers, there's always something to learn. So on Pretty Peacock paper, I have a scrap from a card. I'm going to do the greenery in Pretty Peacock, so it's going to be color on color, but you'll be able to see it. Then, first a mark for the flowers. And then I'm going to use blends to color over the white embossing powder. I think that would work because blends are alcohol markers, and you could color just like a Sharpie. You could color on plastic and things. Okay, let's see how we're doing. That's looking good. Inside is done. My words are half stuck. These could go on with dimensionals. Oh, and if you'd like to order this bundle or this stamp set, I would love to send you one of these cards. I have 6 of the yellow, and I have 2 of the multicolored. And as long as I have cards to send, I will send them. And feel free to contact me, like, I'm thinking about ordering it. Do you still have one to send me? And I'll let you know. It's a great, great fun, and it's a nice, happy stamp. Okay. Oh, and if you can, use this host code. So this is going to go right in the middle. Oh, we have to put the bling on too. Okay, and then stick down the rest of the words. So this morning, Tony and I, we went out we had a few errands to do, like go to the bank. He's so old school. his check, he likes to hand deliver it. Like, it could be there the day before if you direct deposit it. And for Father's Day, we didn't really celebrate, but today was an extension of Father's Day, and we went out to a restaurant called The Pump. Never been there, heard a lot about it. The food was delightful. He had one of the specials. It was like corned beef hash with egg on it, and potato underneath it, and some kind of gravy on it. It came in this skillet thing. And I had what I've heard people talk about, which is stuffed French toast. They said, do you want a whole order or a half order? And I was saying a half, and then Tony goes, well, if you get a whole order, we can take some home. So I got a whole order. It was so good. And are you like, what is it stuffed with? Which is what I was saying. It is like if you have like French bread and it was cut to maybe this thick and it was 2 pieces. Okay, so now we're at this thick. It's kind of like a sandwich. And in between here, the filling was cream cheese and not smush out amount. It was maybe 1/8 of an inch thick, and then some raspberry. I want to say filling, and I asked the lady, is it fresh raspberries? If it's fresh raspberries, I'd go for it, but I really didn't want like jelly or just sweet pretend flavored. She goes, it's really good. When she says it's kind of like a compote, kind of jelly, she goes, it's from some other country. And so in my head I'm thinking, ugh, everyone talks about it. I'll try it. I'd rather fresh. Okay, put bling on there. We're good to go. Anyhow, it was delightful. And I ate one of them. And I'd do it again. And yes, it's worth all the hype. Okay, so I'm going to clean this really good. I'm going to try. So that's the end of this project. But I'm going to try this experiment. I don't know how it's going to go. But it's a pretty set, so it can't be too terrible. Okay, cleaner. Ooh, I should try stamping that. Remember I said, what if you do that? It's probably going to be a mess. See, this is like a 4th experiment. Well, if that was on pretty paper. You know. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. Wait a minute. This was supposed to be all purples. How did I get... Wow. Wow. Okay. Back to where we were. Getting stuff cleaned. I don't know where that came from. That's the Stampin' Mist Cleaner. And I kind of dilute it. So when you get it, it's like full strength. And it's okay to dilute it. Like 1/3 cleaner and 2/3 water. Okay. See, usually when I do Versamark, whatever ink was on there, it just seems to... Versamark is like the ultimate cleaner. I hope I'm getting this clean. Maybe if I do it fast, it won't stain my Versamark. Maybe I just need an old Versamark so I won't be all... Okay. It smells good. It smells like roses. Okay, that was interesting. Oh, it went through. I'm going to need this though. Okay, here we go. Experiment underway. Let's just jump right into doing this with Versamark. I need a paper. I'm going to do it on the dark peacock. Okay, it's going to be this size. Oh, that's perfect. Here we go. First, and it's a new one. Okay, I'm going to go fast. Oh, I should do my embossing buddy. Hold on. I'm going to do the leaves first, then I'll do this. Okay, the leaves are just going to be in peacock. Because if I did it in the Lost Lagoon, that's a lighter color. And the leaves are just going to kind of be background. Okay, it's going to go right here. Color on color. Should just be a hint darker. Oh, that's good. Okay, now embossing buddy, because any moisture left in the pretty peacock ink, I want it to be absorbed. Otherwise, the white powder, the embossing powder, would be everywhere. Okay, oh yeah. That's a little heavy on it. Okay, I'm gonna tap some of it off. At the end, I'll really wipe it off. Okay, here we go. Experiment underway. Pad is still clean. Okay. Yay. So, good. It's kind of hard to see through here. Okay, I think that's it. Do you already know, is this going to work? Ooh, that's pretty. Huh. Okay, and white powder. This does look like an evening sky. Where's my tubs of powder when I need it? Okay, the granules on that paper will drive me crazy. So I'm gonna get a new paper. Oh, look how this turned out. See, that could be a cool background. Okay, so I'm going to heat set. Look at that. It does look like night, huh? Maybe I should just leave them white with hints of color. Well, that's kind of cool. Isn't that pretty? Hold on. There. Wipe off more of the powder. The embossing buddy powder. Okay, that's really pretty. So what about making it more nighttime? Let me see if this is going to work. Maybe more nighttime up here. Oh, look at that. Ooh, okay. Oh, it's kind of coloring my top flowers. I'll try to get that ink off of there. Look at that. That is really pretty. Wow, my probably a blending brush would be better. There, that's tumultuous sky. Huh? Let me see if... kind of brightens it up a little bit. Okay, so the color. So, what color? Should I just, I'll try one with, because like if I was keeping them white, I'll do a big one. So maybe azure. Ooh, the white stands up right behind it. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Look how pretty this is. Okay, so if these are all kind of white blue, then these can be, what's a purple? Not freesia, how about heather? Or maybe darker. I'll try heather. So these maybe they can be, let me see, if it's not dark enough. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh my gosh, this is very pretty. And then I'll do heather light on the tips. You see how vibrant that is? Okay, so I'm going to color the rest of this. And on my blog, I'll put a picture of it. Maybe I'll do one more color. These are all kind of soft pastel type. What about these out in the distance, like that, the poppies? So I'll do pumpkin pie and lemon lolly. Let me see how they work out first. Ooh, that's pretty. They're so small, they're just little dots up there. That's lost. I have a feeling that the yellows, the lemon lolly, will be lost too. Yeah, those are lost. Okay, so these can be pumpkin pie, dark. Oop. The ink goes into the pre-calc paper and makes it a little darker. Okay, so I'll color all of this and I'll put it on the finished result on my blog with the paper cut sizes, which is JilliBling.com. Okay, so there it is. Do you see potential? Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. And till next time, take care.